Greetings, it's Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another album ranking, and we have got part 2 of the Alexis Korner story for you today. Now, Alexis Blues Incorporated is the name of the band, and they were formed in 1961, led of course by Alexis Korner, and the people that have come through this band through its short life: Jack Bruce, Charlie Watts, Terry Cox, Ginger Baker, Art Wood, Long John Baldry, Ronnie Jones, Danny Thompson, Graham Bond, Cyril Davis and Dick Haskell Smith. Unbelievable bunch of people. Great British blues people. And as this band, he released 5 albums, and he sort of embraced young musicians that in them days did include Charlie Watts and Long John Baldry and Jack Bruce. So Alexis Korner brought these guys on, and they all went on to do great things. They're all good. I love Alexis Korner, and it was when someone suggested, will you do some Alexis Korner, I thought straight for a story, because I do like his style of music. So, as this one is a mixture of studio and live albums, so we get the full flavour. So coming in at number 5, now this is from 1964, and it's called At the Cavern, and yes, it is recorded at the Cavern in Liverpool on the 23rd of February 1964. Now, the band was Alexis Korner on electric guitars, Dave Castle was alto saxophone, Mike Scott drums, and Malcolm Saul on organ, and Vernon Bowen on double bass. So the first track on here is called Overdrive. It's got some great saxophone on this from Dave Castle. I think the drumming is pretty good from Mike Scott. Some great guitar from Alexis. He's got that incredible voice as well. It's a really good opening. Then we get a track called Wah Baby. Brilliant track. That great saxophone and combination of great blues guitar, double bass. There's nothing that beats a good double bass. That real bassy tone you get with it. Then we have a track called Every Day I Have the Blues. This is dominated by the double bass. Boom, boom. At the beginning, I love this. This has got a guest vocalist, Herbie Goins, who's a pretty good singer, and I think this is a great track as well. Then we get the classic Muddy Waters, Hoochie Coochie Man. Never get bored of hearing that song. It's just that dun 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 dun, which is what all blues is about. Then we have a track called Herbie's Tune. My favourite track on here, I love Malcolm's keyboards in this. It's really good. Some great drumming from Mike Scott. And it's one of them sort of bold early 60s blues sound. It's really, really good. Little Bitty Gal comes next. Again, the keyboard work in this is great. The little bit of guitars from Alexis is great. It must have been amazing to sit and listen to this in the Cavern in its day. It would have been terrific. Then we have a track called Well, Alright, Okay, You Win. Now this is Herbie Goins doing lead vocals on this one again. It's very more jazzy blues, this is. That saxophone really has got that jazzy, the groovy keyboards. Fantastic little track. And the last track on this one is Kansas City. Again, lead vocals by Herbie Goins. It's an old song, of course, traditional bluesy, and it's great, a version of this. The saxophones are great. Herbie's great vocals, the great little guitar bits from Alexis Korner. Really good song to end this album. There's nothing like having a little blues band in a pub. Now, here in Northampton, we have a pub that does this. It's the Malt Shovel. They have a blues night, and it's a band that takes up all the room, and then everyone's stuffed in listening to some great blues. So, although this is not this, I can appreciate what it would have been like, because I've been in many a great blues evening. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.3. Okay, coming in at number 4, we have an album called R&B from the Marquee. And this was not done in the Marquee. It's recorded in 1962 in the West Hampstead studios. So on here we have got Cyril Davis, who featured on these last week. He does vocals on them, and he's a great harmonica player. Dick Hextall Smith on tenor sax. Keith Scott on piano. Spike Heatley on the string bass. Graham Burbridge on the drums. Long John Baldry doing some vocals on this as well. We've got Teddy Wadmore doing the bass. Big Jim Sullivan doing some vocals as well. What a bunch of people to record an album with. We've got Gotta Move is the opening one. This is very simple blues. Some lovely harmonica from Cyril. Great guitar. A little bit of boogie woogie piano. It's very basic, but it's an absolutely killer track. Then we have a Jimmy Witherspoon track, Rain is Such a Lonesome Sound. One of the great Jimmy Witherspoon songs, sung here by Long John Baldry, who is a fantastic blues singer. We've got some lovely harmonica on from Cyril. Plus you've got that lovely tone on the guitar from Alexis. Just an amazing track. I Got My Brand on You, which is a Willie Dixon number. Cyril Davis sings this. Great, apart from being a great harmonica player, he was a great singer as well. And they do a great song. It's just a bit of a jam. It just sounds great. Spooky but Nice. Again, Cyril Davis wrote this. I love the drumming on this from Graham. Good drummer, good blues drummer. Fantastic little track. I love that. It is just brilliant, and you get some great saxophone from Dick Smith. Sorry, great track. Then we get Keep Your Hands Off, another Cyril Davis song. Great harmonica on this. He was one of the best British harmonica players. Absolutely brilliant track. Then we have another great Willie Dixon track, a track I love. I Want to Put a Tiger in Your Tank. Sung beautifully by Cyril. Really good track. Then we have a Preston Foster number, I Got My Mojo Working. The great combination here of the little banter between Alexis on the guitar and Cyril on the harmonica. They sort of the instruments are talking to each other. It is fantastic. I don't know if that was planned in the song but it just really is good. Then we get this little track called Finkel's Cafe. Some lovely piano on this from Keith Scott. That's absolutely brilliant. Then again we get Hoochie Coochie Man. Who cares how many times you hear it, it still sounds good. Then we get a track by Downtown, written by Alexis himself. It's my favourite track on here. It's got a great bass line. The sax is good. You've got some this really nice blues guitar. Then we have How Long Blues. Fantastic vocal here from Long John Baldry. Some great harmonica on this as well. Of course, and the guitar work from Alexis is just brilliant. Then we have a track called I Thought I Heard That Train Whistle Blow. A jazzy blues number. Great harmonica and saxophone working well together. Great guitar work. John Baldry, great singing. What a track to end this album. I think this is another great example of British blues. Some great performers on here. Cyril Davis, Long John Baldry. You can't get any better than this. It's a really good album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 3, we've got an album called Sky High, which came out in 1965. And on here we have got Alexis Korner doing the vocals and guitars, Danny Thompson on the bass, Terry Cox on the drums, Alan Skidmore tenor sax, Chris Pine trombone, and Duffy Power vocals and harmonica. Another great blues performer. First track on this one is called Long Black Train. This is Mr. Duffy Power on the vocals, great vocals, and his harmonica's pretty good. Terry Cox's drumming on this is fantastic. Rock Me comes next. This shows some great guitar work from Alexis Korner. Absolutely brilliant. The bass line from Danny Thompson oozes just wonderful. Another fine vocal from Duffy Power. I love this track. I'm So Glad. Yes, it's that track that Cream did as well. It's a great track. Alexis guitar song is so good on that. Wednesday Night Prayer Meeting. That's got a lovely combination of trombone and saxophone. Throwing a great little lick of blues on the guitar. It just works. Very jazzy. Great little track that one is. Honesty is my next favourite. This is one of my favourite tracks. It's got that lovely trombone, that chinky blues guitar from Alexis. This is a sort of mix with that traditional blues and jazz. It is really good. It's a great fusion track. Then we get Yellow Dog Blues, dominated by some great guitar work here from Alexis. That trombone sounds great on here as well. Really good. Let the Good Times Roll, the harmonica from Duffy. Brilliant. I just love that track. Then we get Ooh Wee Baby. Again, it's just some nice guitar work here from Alexis. Solid stuff. Great vocal from Duffy. River's Invitation. Once again, we get that combination of saxophone and trombone with some great drumming from Terry. Oh, really good. Money Honey. Again, it's just a bit of it seems like a jam. We got the harmonica and the drums working well. Very intricate. There's jazzy style blues. Great tones on the guitars. Big Road Blues. This just proves what Alexis Korner was one of the great British blues guitarists in this country. Absolutely amazing guitar work on that. Louise. Great bass line, a real good bit of harmonica work on here, and a great vocal from Duffy. Floating comes next. This is an acoustic, that acoustic blues. You know, the Robert Johnson style. It's great. Alexis was so good at doing this. Of course, Robert Johnson was a big influence on Alexis Korner. Then Anchor 5 Miles, more Alexis blues from Alexis. I love this. It's so simple but good. Daft Stance. Great quirky acoustic blues to end the album with. These 3 acoustic tracks are just dynamite. Great album. Jazzy blues, traditional blues, acoustic blues. It's got everything on here. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Oh, this is so hard because all of these albums are great. Coming in at number 2 from 1965, it's just called Alexis Korner's Blues Incorporated. Joining Alexis here, we've got Mike Scott on bass, Phil Seaman on the drums, Dick Hextall Smith on tenor sax, Art Thurman on alto sax and tenor sax, and the piano here is done by the legendary Johnny Parker. First track on here is called Blue Mink. Wow, great guitar. the saxophone, deep, the tenor saxophone from Dick Exklesmith, brilliant track. Rainy Tuesday, my favourite track on here. You've got two saxophones on here. You've got the alto and the tenor, and they sound wonderful together. They play off each other so well. What a great track. Then we get Yogi. Great bass line here. Absolutely brilliant bass line from Mike Scott. Takes the groove of this song. Really, really, really good. Sapo. Great jazzy blues number. This is some great guitar work here from Alexis. Then we get Navy Blue. Now this is absolutely belongs to Johnny Parker. That honky-tonk piano sound is absolutely brilliant. I love this track. Then we have a track called Royal Doogie. Again, this is dominated by Johnny Parker's piano playing, some lovely alto sax, some art. Brilliant little track. Preaching the Blues. Now, this is probably the weirdest track on here. It's not my favourite track. It's a little bit off key for me. Then we get Captain's Tiger. Lovely bass going from Mike on this. Got some great drumming on here from Phil. Absolutely killer drum line on that. Can't get any better than that. Anything for now. Sax, 12-bar blues rock. Bluesy sort of thing. Super little track. Chris Trundle's Habit. Another killer track. Bluesy, drazzy drumming here from Phil. I think jazz drumming is something else. The piano from Johnny is great on this. And then we get a little track called Trundling to end the album. Swingy sort of number with some great saxophones. Little bits of lovely guitar tones from Alex running all three through this track. This was close to being my #1 album but it's got that weird track. But the rest of the tracks are absolutely dynamite. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.3. But my favourite and my #1 album from this band is from 1964, and it's called Red Hot Alex. Now there's different people playing on each tracks. So the first track is a great track. Woke Up This Morning. We've got Dave Castle on saxophone, Danny Thompson on bass, drums Barry Houghton, Alexis Korner on the guitar, of course, and Ron Edgeworth on the organ. Piano Ron Edgeworth as well. Art Thurman doing the saxophone, and Herbie Goines on vocals. Classic blues lines. Everybody's covered this. Really, really good. And it's got some nice piano work on here as well. So it's a really good track. Then we get Skipping. So it's Dave Castle, Danny Thompson, Barry Houghton, Alex Korner, and Ron Edgeworth, and Armin and Art and Dick on the saxophones. Love the organ on this. Really adds some texture. But it's them saxophones again that do it for me. Absolutely brilliant. Then we get another version of Herbie's tune, which is pretty good. A bit better than the other one, I think. Saxophone really adds to this. Great track. Then we get a great version of Stormy Monday, which is a classic blues number. Danny Thompson's on here, Barry Houghton, we've got Dave Castle playing the flute, Alexis Korner's back on it, of course, and Herbie Goines does the vocals. Brilliant. Slow flowing blues drum beat. Great vocal from Herbie. Yeah, it's just brilliant. Then it's happening. Same people that played on the previous track, except we haven't got the flute. Great track this is. The piano on this just is crisp. That combination of the tenor sax as well, really that sort of noise, really good. Next track is called Roberta. Alto sax done by Dave Castle on here, Danny Thompson, Barry Houghton, Ron Edgeworth again, and Art Thurman, and the vocals of Herbie Goins. I love Herbie's vocals. This is the best on the album. The bass line just drives this one along. Great guitar solo from Alexis as well. Brilliant. Then we have a track called Jones. Same people play on this as the previous track. Jazzy blues this is. The beat is great. That drumming is that sort of whispery drumming. Fantastic. Then we get a great track, and it's called Cabbage Creek. It's just one of them tracks that you got to keep your feet going. Really, really good. Then we get Chicken Shack, which reminds me of Booker and the MGs. Lovely organ sound. Fantastic track. You got another. Then we got Haitian Flight Song, jazzy as you like. The Danny Thompson's bass line absolutely kills this one. It not kills it, but it's killer. It just grooves it along, and then you get the saxophone that sort of follows that bass line. Absolutely great track to end the album. For me, I think this is one of the most underrated blues jazz albums out there. Again, it's got everything on this, and they're just all brilliant tracks. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.5. So there we go. There's part 2, the Blues Incorporated. Next week we will be looking at another great little band that he did that did a lot of covers, but some great covers, and that is CCS. Okay, I'll be back later with a great retro ranking. It's the King of the Twang on the Gretsch. It's the brilliant Dwayne Eddy. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'll see you later. Bye for now.